give the following comparison and just tell me which one sounds closer to the issue that they seem to be having. So, like, let's assume we're starting here. We're going from a very heavy, very large sound to something, let's say, a little smaller. And I'm going to get a little smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. But if I'm not necessarily taking care of or observing sort of the relationship between that smaller size and the weight that I'm achieving, there's a kind of quality to this voice that sounds a little bit agitating or a little bit kind of potentially nasal. Some people identify it as sounding a bit on the nasal side. Compare instead this quality. Hello, 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 hello. So now I'm at the same size and I've backed off on the weight. Suddenly that nasal quality goes away. Compare now what we might think of as true nasality, where the sound is nasalizing slightly because it's entering the nasal cavity. Hello, hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you hear that this sounds like it's actually kind of murmury? There's a little bit of murmur to the sound that wasn't maybe present in some of the other examples. So now I'm pinching my nose and I'm going for this nasal sound. You're going to hear that it sounds a little bit muffled and stopped up. And then in comparison, I'm going to stay nasal, but I'm not going to necessarily, pinch the nose shut. So you should be able to hear that nasality coming through as a little bit of a murmur. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus again that first sound that we might think of again as over full. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this has a strong sense of being nasal to you, then it's worth differentiating and disambiguating, I think, a little bit the actual source of the sound, because this is not, despite its appearance as being kind of nasal, this is actually not actually doing anything to my nasal cavity that is different than normal, typical speech. It's just a little too heavy. So I would start aiming for something really light and kind of yawny, and then see if you can layer on those same resonance adjustments slowly over time to achieve the sound that you want, and avoid the kind of nasal sound quality that they seem to be getting.